Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week I wanted to do a brief tutorial on how to move and hit people in Necro like a pro. Just some very basic tactics that you can practice, especially if you just joined the game. It'll give you a good handle on how to move and be able to land your hits well in Necro. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to make sure that you have is you're going to want to make sure that you're carrying the least amount of lag as humanly possible when you're going into a fight. So I actually have another video that talks all about how to reduce lag on your character, on your account when you're trying to fight in Necro, and just some basic things that you can do in the graphics setting, as well as the draw distance and those kinds of things to be able to help you move faster and experience a little bit less lag. And I'm going to put that video in the description for anyone that wants to see that. So assuming that you watch that video and your character's already well set up for a fight, next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have your run always turned on. And you can actually bring this box up in Avatar and move controls. That brings up that box. And then just click that and then you'll always be running, which is faster than trying to, double hit your W button to try to run. I see a lot of new players walking during fights. And honestly, in my opinion, that's like the worst thing that you can do, especially against a player like me, because I can catch up to you super quick. I can get more hits in. Your character's busy walking away from me, while meanwhile I'm like sideswiping you, hitting you 3, 4, 5 times. So always have run on. You'll be able to get away faster. You'll be able to hit me at different angles more accurately, and you'll just have a way better experience and better fights in this game in general. The next thing that you're going to want to make sure that you have is you want to have WASD set up, okay? So if you don't have this, make sure to set your keyboard up with WASD. Get yourself a mouse, preferably. Don't try to use the mouse pad on a laptop because that's not going to work. You'll be so much of a better fighter if you set yourself up as if you were playing a video game. And honestly, that's where a lot of my experience for this game came from, because I was already a video gamer when I came into Necro. So I already had all of this set up. But to do WASD, avatar preferences, and then I believe, let me see, movement. Okay, so move and view movement. And then you want to do pressing letter keys affects movement, WASD, instead of starting nearby. Okay, so you want to click that. And then hit OK. And you'll be able to move with WASD. And then I use a mouse that I plug into my laptop. It makes things so much easier, honestly. So if you're not using WASD, you gotta switch. Trust me. And another big secret that I do in this game, well, it's not a secret anymore, is that when I'm running, a lot of people think that a lot of new players, I think that I use followers now, because I'm always on top of my target. No matter what direction they go, no matter where they turn, I never, ever take my eyes off my target. It gets a little dicier when it's in group fights, but this works really well if you're going against one person especially. And the way that I never take my eyes off my target is when I'm doing WASD, I hold down Shift. That way your camera doesn't move, but you're moving. And you can hit them at every single angle. So you can go this way and hit them. Then if they run right, you can quickly go like this and keep hitting them. And then if you have to, let your finger off Shift and then turn around really quick. But honestly, every time that you turn around, you're vulnerable. It takes a second. So like, look, I've got Shift, hitting, hitting, hitting. Oh shit, they moved. I gotta turn around now. See how awkward that is? It takes like 3 or 4 seconds to move your camera around. And meanwhile, people are hitting you. But sometimes you have to in group fights, because if you like never move your camera like this, you're gonna have people sideswiping you, trying to hit you from behind, even though it's harder because your hitbox is in the front. Sometimes the hitbox slides backwards and they can hit you from the back sometimes, especially if it's at an angle on the side. It gets a little difficult holding down shift when you're in group fights, but I still do it sometimes. But that's one of my biggest tips that I would say for a new player is run WASD, hold down shift, mess with your graphics, watch my other video. It's going to help you with reducing lag a lot, and it'll really help you out a lot. Last thing I wanted to mention is a lot of new players, when they enter into Necro and start fighting, they think that like the more hits they do, the more successful they're gonna be. So they'll just keep running after someone like this. Hit, hit, hit. They'll just hit like a wild banshee over and over and over. And like the person could be like way over there, and they'll be like faced totally the wrong way, and they're still spamming their sword button. That's honestly one of the worst things that you can do. And that's because you have to think about it in this perspective. When your sword is down, because you're hitting, swinging, that's like a second or two, where your sword is busy and your stance is open, okay? So anyone can hit you when your sword is down. So every time you swing, you are vulnerable, okay? So the best thing to do is to try to get better at timing your hits. Keep your mouse over the sword button, but only click it when you're ready to strike, when you really think you're gonna hit them. And that will help you be more successful in the long run, to be honest. And you'll have a lot more accurate hits once you get better at your timing as well. Spamming does not equal more hits whatsoever. If anything, just makes you an easy target, and I'm just going to rush you, time my hits while you're not timing yours, and I'm going to kill you with it. But I hope these tips were a little bit helpful for you. If you have any questions, just hit me up in Second Life. We can talk. I'm not scary, I promise. A lot of people think that I'm the super scary person, and they'll like TP out as soon as I arrive. Or they think that I'm mean. Like, I've had people that I became friends with, especially on the enemy side, and they'll be like, I thought you were gonna be mean. You'd be surprised. Just talk to me. I'm a lot nicer than you would imagine. But I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon, okay?